Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Victor of Cars Jubilee, and today we're back with my Ioniq 5 to tell you a story about my first week back after finally getting my windshield replaced and my glass roof replaced. So I'm going to break it into 7 chapters, basically 1 chapter for each day. I've already got it chaptered in the description, so feel free to jump around, but I hope you guys enjoy. November 11th. Friday. Just a quick recap, my windshield and my glass roof had cracked about 2.5 months ago, and about 2 weeks ago, the glass roof finally arrived at the repair shop. We dropped it off, they cut out the old roof, and as they were putting in the new one, they realized, uh-oh, the replacement's chipped. So they had to order a new one. And in the meantime, I drove my Ioniq 5 without a roof, parked it in my garage, and then it proceeded to rain for an entire week. And we only have 1 garage spot. So it was kind of inconvenient being out in the rain when we have a garage spot, but unfortunately my Ioniq 5 had to be in there because it had no roof. But anyways, the parties involved, the repair shop, and Sunroof Express did a great job of just getting us a roof as quick as possible, and they got it to the shop in about a week. So like I said, on Friday, I got the call from the shop saying, hey, the glass roof is here. Can you bring it here on Monday? And we'll get this roof back in for you, and you'll be all set. And I said, yeah, let's do it. Saturday the 12th. So, on Saturdays, for the past 6 months or so, I've been playing basketball early in the morning with a bunch of other dads. And, basketball is something that I've been playing for almost 30 years. Sometimes for fun, when I was younger, competitively. And it's just a hobby that's ingrained into my life. Now, I was playing on Saturday morning when all of a sudden I felt this sharp, sudden explosion of pain to my left ankle, to the back of it. And it felt like someone had taken a baseball bat and just whacked it as hard as they could. Now, based on that description, maybe you already know what happened. I ruptured my left Achilles. And, I was pretty calm about it. I wasn't worried. And the reason I wasn't worried is because I've had this happen before. In fact, 1.5 years ago, I ruptured my right Achilles. So at the age of about 34, I ruptured my right Achilles. At the age of 35.5, I just ruptured my left Achilles. So I think my body's telling me, hey, bud, it's time. It's game over. So that might be the end of my sports playing days. And I've already got a bad back. I've got herniated discs. So maybe that's it. Sunday. Now, Sunday actually wasn't bad. I stayed at home, kind of processed all that's been going on, and processed the end of my sports playing days. In all honesty, it was a good day. Stayed home with family, with my son, and we just hung out. Monday rolls around, and remember, on Friday, the shop had called and said, hey, can you bring your Ioniq 5 in so we can put the new roof on? I gotta get this car there. Winter is coming. I'm sitting right here now in the car, and it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Like I said, the week before, we had gotten an entire week of rain, and snow is coming. And I can't really afford to wait to have my car sitting in my garage without a roof. What if I need the car, or what if I need the garage spot? I need to get this car to the shop. So I drag myself out of the house. It takes a while, but I get into the car. I drive my Ioniq 5 to the shop, and then I take a lift back home. And then actually that evening, the shop calls and says, hey, we got it done. It's ready for you. And I said, wow, that was quick. I'll try to pick it up on Tuesday or Wednesday. Then Tuesday turns into a bit of a busy day. I'm trying to figure out my work schedule, trying to delegate and restructure what I'm going to be doing for the next couple weeks, since I'll probably be at home and not doing field work. But also early in the morning, we realize our son seems kind of sick. So instead of sending him to daycare, he's staying home with me in the morning. Then my wife comes home early so that I can go to an appointment for my Achilles. And then at night, when we try to put our son down, man, he's just coughing every 10 to 15 minutes. This kid is miserable, and we feel terrible. But there's not much we can do. So we just take turns, we take shifts staying with him in his room, and basically no one sleeps that night. Wednesday morning rolls around. I tell my wife, hey, I gotta go to work. I'll handle it. I call the doctor's office. I get an immediate appointment, and I drag my son and myself into our GV60 because our Ioniq 5 is still in the shop. I get us in the GV60, and then I start driving to the doctor's office. And as I pull in, I'm backing into a spot, and I start hearing this gagging sound. And I look back, and oh man, he's about to throw up. Now, my son has this thing where as soon as he gets these coughing fits, he just throws up very easily. And I've had to disassemble and wash our car seats numerous times. And this time I had the foresight to bring a plastic cup with me. I don't know, I'm not really sure why, but just before we left the house, I just said, I'm gonna grab this cup. We'll see if it helps, just in case. And so as soon as I heard him starting to gag, you know, I put the car in park and I reached back and I was like, ah! And I got most of it. A little bit on his chin, a little bit on his shirt, and he's screaming, he's crying, he's miserable, and I'm like, all right, let me get this car parked. So I put it back into reverse, I start backing up again, and all of a sudden I hear that same gagging sound, and I'm just like, ah! This time, luckily, I catch it all, and, you know, I get us parked, I hobble out of the car, I get him changed, you know, meanwhile he's clearly upset, he's miserable, but, you know, I get us into the doctor's office, and they do some tests, and they're like, he caught RSV. That thing's everywhere right now. So they give us albuterol, you know, we go home, watching a bit of TV because he's just miserable, and that's the only way to keep his mind off the coughing. And then my wife comes home, and I say, hey, I gotta go get the car. The Ioniq 5's been there for a couple days, and I don't want to leave it there for too long. So then I take a lift out to the shop, pick up the car, bring it back home, and then we try to put our son down again, and same thing as the night before. Even with the medicine, he's still coughing every 20 to 30 minutes. So again, we take shifts, no one really sleeps at night, and then till about 6 a.m., he finally hits the stretch of sleeping about 2 to 3 hours. Unfortunately, my wife doesn't benefit from it because she has to go to work at 7, but I got a little bit of sleep, at least, you know, a couple of hours there. He wakes up and he's in a much better mood. So I'm thinking, oh, things are looking up. So Thursday is actually a pretty good day. You know, I'm staying at home with my son, trying to balance out doing work from home, trying to figure out my schedule for the next couple weeks. And yeah, no complaints there, right? In my head, I'm thinking, oh man, things are looking up. My Ioniq 5 is home. It's whole. And hopefully I'll, you know, heal up eventually and get to drive it more soon. Then Friday rolls around, and my son now is just, he's better. He's back to his usual self, but we're still keeping him home for another day just to make sure he's not contagious. And the day passes pretty well until my wife gets home. She brings in the mail and she hands me this letter from Safelite. And in my head I'm thinking, nah, probably just Safelite spam, but hey, let's open it to make sure. I open it, and all of a sudden I see this letter. And you'll see it here, but the gist of it, it says, is that my insurance company has not paid them for replacing the windshield for me 2.5 months ago. And they want my insurance company to call them. And I'm thinking, do you mean State Farm or do you mean Lynx? Now, you might be thinking, who the heck is Lynx? We'll get to that in a second. But anyways, I immediately call my insurance agent, and by now it's Friday, you know, 5 p.m. Call him, super nice dude, but you have to remember that these agents typically are not involved in repair claims. They help you with changing your insurance, with making sure you're covered the way you want to be, but you file the claims separately with the claims department. But he says, hey, explain to me everything that's going on and I'll figure out what I can do. So I said, all right, here it goes. 2.5 months ago, my windshield and my glass roof cracked from a rock chip. I called State Farm, claims department. They say, hey, we don't handle glass claims. We outsource it to a company called Lynx Services. So then they bump my call to Lynx Services. And then I talk to Lynx Services, and then they call Safelite, and we're on a 3-way call with the Safelite rep, and the person says, okay, let me set you up with a windshield claim right now. We're going to get that thing ordered, And then for the glass roof, we have to do that separately. Someone else will be giving you a call to set that up. And I said, great. And then I wait a week. And then finally, at the end of the week, I get a call from Safelite, from my local Safelite office, the office that'll be doing the actual repair. They said, hey, we got the confirmation for the windshield replacement. We just ordered it, and it'll be here in about 5 days. Now, if you follow my other videos, you'll know that was a lie. It took 2 to 3 weeks. But anyways, I asked them, okay, great. Well, what about my glass roof? And then the office says, we don't do glass roof replacements. I don't know who told you that they could, but we definitely don't. So then I'm thinking, so I just wasted a week? Okay, great. Let me call Lynx. And it takes about an hour to get a hold of someone on Lynx, but I finally get through, and this new person says, oh, this previous Lynx associate made a mistake. We don't handle glass roof claims. We had to send this portion to another company called Sunroof Express. They will handle your claim. We are still your claim administrator, but they are your point of contact for your glass roof. So then I'm like, okay. Then Sunroof Express spends about the next 2 weeks trying to find someone that can do the actual replacement. They finally find someone, and then they get back in contact with Lynx, and Lynx, for whatever reason, refuses to authorize a replacement order for the glass roof for a month. So for a whole month, we're sitting there thinking, what in the world is going on? Why can't we get a order placed? And finally they tell us, hey, we want the receipt for your Safelite glass windshield replacement, showing that you paid a deductible. And I said, okay, here it is. And the order immediately gets authorized. But then we have to wait another month for the glass roof to actually arrive at the shop. And then I tell my agent, and I finally got my glass roof in and replaced. I just got the car back 2-3 days ago. And then my agent says, wait, what? Can you repeat that? And I repeat the same story probably 3 to 4 times. And I was like, hey, there's a lot going on. But anyways, my agent says, okay, I'm going to get this escalated through the State Farm escalation team, and they're going to request that Lynx look into this. But he says, in the meantime, make sure you call Safelite. Make sure you let them know, hey, you're working on this, because worst case scenario, this could go into collections and destroy your credit. And I'm like, great, fantastic. But in all seriousness, that was good advice, because I have absolutely zero trust that Lynx is going to get this resolved. But anyways, that was my first week back with my Ioniq 5, finally pieced back together. But unfortunately, I can't really drive it much, so we'll see what happens. Now, beyond all that, I am thankful. I am blessed, and I don't want to take that for granted. But I just can't wait to the day that I no longer have to deal with Safelite, with Lynx, with Hertz, and with car rentals or car repairs, because it's been exhausting. Now, on a completely separate note, in the spirit of the holiday, Thanksgiving coming up, and knowing that I probably won't see you guys here until after Thanksgiving, I just wanted to say, first off, thank you all so much for your encouragement and your support on the channel. I've really appreciated it. And secondly, I hope that you guys have just a fantastic Thanksgiving, spending time with loved ones. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.